Good morning. I'm Mark,
I'm Michelle.
and today we
We're
have,
with the plant medicine path.
yes, the Applied Medicine
Yes.
Path. We are.
We've got the Midichees. Meet the Midichees. They are from Washington. They are mycologists. They've got a farm out there in Washington. We're just going to introduce you guys and let you say what you do your thing.
Ray and Maya, good morning. How are you?
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
We are doing really great. We are so excited to meet with y'all this morning, and we have really enjoyed your group the last couple of months, and we really like what y'all got going on, and we are glad to be here to share about our dream to bring mycology to people.
Thanks.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. Well, you guys know what you're doing out
You
there. That's for
definitely
sure.
do. Definitely. Tell us, talk to us.
Yeah.
So we have been basically cultivating and foraging pretty seriously for about 4 years now. We started kind of getting back into mushrooms and plant medicine a few years ago. We were wanting to kind of heal from some things that we were going through. And I remembered that when I was a teenager, I had some really great experiences with mushrooms and some different types of psychoactive plants or plant medicine. And I was like, I think I need to go back here and check this out again. And so I went foraging a couple of times, and I was able to find some really great psilocybe species from the Pacific Northwest, cyanescens, and some gymnophallus, and some other medicinal mushrooms that I really like too, like lion's mane. And so after I was able to reconnect with mushrooms a little bit, I did a couple of macro quests, and I was able to work through some stuff that was holding me back a little bit. And then I kind of got hooked, and I felt like I needed to figure out how to bring this closer to us and create a consistent connection with mushrooms and plants again, and add them to our nutrition and our everyday lives. And so that's what I did. I went online and I did some research for a couple of weeks, and I learned how to use agar, and then prep my own grain and prep my own bulk substrate. And then everything just took off, and we started helping out in some mycology education groups and sport trading groups. And then we started working on some of our own projects and sharing some of those projects with the cultivation community. And then we started this business called Uncle Jay's Premium Picks. That is our spore vending business. We have been selling spores to people across the world for about going on 3.5, 4 years now, and we have lots of great products. We use still airbox and a laminar flow hood to prepare a lot of our stuff. We mostly use the FFU or laminar flow hood for the products that go in our Uncle Jay's Premium Pick store. And then we use the still airbox for little things that are just for us. Maybe we'll work on some gourmets, or maybe we'll work on some medicinal mushroom grows that are just specifically for us. And then that has just turned into this dream of us wanting to bring cultivation education to other people with the purpose of giving them the knowledge and power to be able to grow their own medicine in the comfort of their own home and not have to mess around with looking for anything anymore. We understand that people can enter some really uncomfortable spaces when they're looking for mushroom medicine, and not everybody that has mushroom medicine available are the most savory of characters. I'm not trying to say that there aren't good people out there, because there are definitely wonderful people out there that have good intentions and just want to help people and are bringing people medicine. But then there's also people that are just kind of in it for the money. And
Yeah.
we want to give people the option of growing their own medicine at home so they don't have to mess with any of that nonsense. nonsense. We can provide products, prepared products for people if they're not in a position to create their own products or make their own products at home. Or we can teach people how to grow everything from beginning to finish, and also give them knowledge of interactions that will infuse their medicine with love teachings and help them understand alchemy and be able to do more than just grow mushrooms. We want people to be able to take the energy that they have in their lives that makes them passionate, that brings love to their heart, and be able to put that into their work so that when they share it with other people, they're getting this as well. They're taking on this energy. They're able to share this love with other people. So it's more than just growing mushrooms. It's a immersive experience that we're creating where we help you understand how to have a healthy relationship with plants and mushrooms, and then we help you learn how to grow them, and then we help you learn how to harvest them and store them so that you can share them with the people that you love and you can enjoy them.
So you go from start to finish.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, so once you sell the spores to them, then you have the course yourself, then you offer the training or the course to help people grow?
Yes, so we are available for mycology education workshops, and we do different versions of those. In our local area, we're able to do in-person mycology workshops where basically somebody makes an appointment with us and they can choose 4 to 5 people to have as guests at the workshop. Or possibly 8 people if they want to structure it a little bit differently. And then we can set up a 4 to 6 hour workshop, and we will bring all the materials needed to do every single step of the process. We will teach spores to agar, and then we will show everybody how the spores germinate and what the spores are doing while they're germinating and explain that process. And then we will teach everybody about prepping agar so they know how to make their own agar. And then we will teach agar pour workshop, and then move on to the next step, which will be prepping sterilized grain. And then the next step is taking your colonized agar that has your mushroom cultures on it and inoculating your grain. And then that colonizes, and then you will go through the process of doing a couple of shakes to make sure everything's good. And then once your grain is fully colonized, you will take that to bulk substrate. Bulk substrate is different things. It can be master's mix, which is for gourmets, and that is hardwood fuel pellets or sawdust and oat bran with soy hulls. And then for most actives that are popular, people use coconut coir and vermiculite. And then those are prepped certain ways. We teach everyone how to prep both types of substrate. And then by the end of the workshop, we'll put it all together with pre-made materials that we bring with us. So we'll have multiple stages of colonized agar plates, multiple stages of colonized grain spawn jars, and then we will have the different types of bulk substrate to use for the workshop. And then we can go through all the processes together and learn how to prepare everything. And then when we leave all the materials with you. So when we leave, you have mushrooms growing in your house, and within a couple of weeks, you can harvest them. And if the client wants to, they can make an appointment to do a live workshop with us where we help them with harvesting and walk them through that if they want. It's most of the time not necessary at all because it's a very easy process, and they can do it after us just explaining it to them really simply. And it is a super enjoyable time. We talk about infusing our grow with sacred love teachings and or our love energy. I do things like when I'm working with my agar, I set intentions like I really hope that this culture turns out really well. I am hoping that this nutrient is sufficient for the spores that I'm wanting to germinate. I am praising my medicine. I am telling it how beautiful it is, and sharing all of the hopes and dreams that I have for it, and wishing it well, and that it makes it to people that really need it and that are going to respect it and honor it and use it in a healthy way. And so we just go through that process with everything that we do, and we're showing people and teaching people how to also, bring the sacred love teachings to yourself and your friends and family. You're saying good things to each other, you're encouraging each other, you're complimenting each other's work. When you see somebody working really calmly and they're making really great movements and you're really excited about their agar transfers that they're doing, say, oh man, that was really awesome. You did that so smoothly, and your punch transfer was so wonderful. I know that your agar plates are going to turn out so beautiful and healthy, and things like that really help. It might sound silly a little bit, but all those little things along the way really help infuse this beautiful love energy into your grow.
So I have a few questions now. Just jumping onto this, okay? Is this pretty easy for somebody just a beginner to learn? Because all these terminologies you're using and stuff are really foreign to a lot of us. So picking up by the end of the workshop is okay.
Yeah, so we actually work with a lot of beginners, and we can structure the workshops and customize them for the client. So if somebody's starting completely from scratch and they literally, the first time that they even thought about mushrooms was like yesterday, I can present the education in a way that it's really easy for them to learn, and then we can together figure out the terminology on our way through everything. And I have lots of information on like our Instagram and some of our other platforms that I can lead them to, and they can read through and do a little bit of research for maybe a couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And then when they're ready and they have gotten a feel for it a little bit, and they think they want to jump in and start growing some stuff and doing some workshops, then we can get together and take that next step. We try to, on the platforms that we're offering the cultivation education, make everything really simple for everyone, because not everyone is at the same speed as far as terminology and all of this scientific information is concerned. And I totally get that. And so we take that into consideration all the way through all of our processes and try to make it as easy as possible for everyone.
Now, how much space do you have to have for something like this?
You know what? That's what's really great about this, is that you can do this on a really small scale where you literally use like a desk or a shelf, and that's about the amount of space that you need, especially if you're just growing enough medicine for yourself and your family to be able to enjoy and partake in. You don't need very much space. A 10 by 10 area, or like a really small room or even a wall in a room would be more than enough space to grow several setups and do your agar work and store all of your jars and equipment.
Yeah, like a lot of people have like maybe just a closet space, and so they just use that and use an SAB at their kitchen table. So it's, yeah, you really don't need a lot of space, especially for the personal use. So, yeah.
So, okay, well, I have a question. So, how do you bring in your gifts as an alchemist? And the first question is, talk to us about what does that mean? What does alchemy mean? And Maya, where you come in, because you make beautiful medicine, and the cacao that you put in, the love that you put in, how you know how to mix things together. I want to talk about that because it's really special.
Okay, so I feel like the most important part of this process is inclusion. And when I'm talking about inclusion, I'm talking about collective energy. And so I had thought about this for a really long time when we first started growing. and I was in one of our grow setups, and I was looking at all of the different tubs and grow bags and stuff, and I was thinking about how all of the mushrooms were separated, right? They're growing in different setups because they're different kinds, they're different varieties and stuff. Some of them have different needs. For the most part, they all have pretty much the same needs, but some of them have slightly different needs. But they're all together in this space, right?
Like a little family.
Yeah, like a little family. They're all together.
Yeah.
They're all connected in this space. They're sharing this grow tent, more or less.
We love it.
We use just like a regular grow tent so that we can control the interior parameters like Inkbird. Some people will set them up as a Martha so that they can do gourmet grows and have open grow inside of a grow tent. But when I was thinking about this, I was thinking that all of the mushrooms, just like people, they want to be together. You know, we want to connect. We want to share things with each other. And sharing energy is alchemy. And learning about how things connect and the power of connection is very important through this process. And so when I was thinking about this, I thought about how special it would be to mix the mushrooms together after they were done growing, because they live together and they are created, or they germinate together. When we set up agar plates, we don't separate all of them. We stack them all up together, and they go in a cupboard, and they sit in their incubation cupboard all together. And so they're living in this community together, and they're sharing energy. And then when they move to jars, same thing. They're all together. They're all living together. They're all growing together. They're changing and evolving together. And then again, when we take them to bulk substrate and we put them in their bags or their tubs, they're enjoying the same space. They're sharing space. They're sharing energy. They're sharing warmth. They're growing and evolving together. So when I thought about this, I thought about how special it would be to allow them to be together after they were harvested. And even though after we harvest them, they are technically dead, right? They dry out, but
their energy is still very much alive. So
right.
Absolutely. I think we talked about that before. So
the data that they're holding, the sacred knowledge that they're holding is very much alive. We all know this. Anyone who has been with mushrooms, who has experienced mushrooms, knows that the energy that is inside them, even after they're harvested, is very much alive and is waiting to teach you lots of wonderful things and bring you love and bring you back to yourself and show you honest things. And so what we started to do was we started to mix all of the medicinal mushrooms or psychoactive mushrooms together so that they could be together in the very end process as well. So when they meet people and they interact with people and they bring all of their sacred knowledge and their sacred love teachings together, they get to share it with everyone together.
Yeah.
And this is true alchemy. This is a true community of love, and it is put into the medicine, and it stays there. It is there until it makes it to its destination, and then when somebody partakes in it, they get to keep it forever. I mean, you know, you've experienced different types of plant medicine and mushrooms. Once you experience mushrooms in the ways that we're experiencing mushrooms, you never forget. Those teachings stay in your soul forever. And that's how we came to that. And before, we had them separated for a little bit, but not very long. It was only maybe a couple of months. And then we started thinking about this, and we were like, no, they belong together, just like we belong together.
Some people very much want like just a milder like mushroom for a microdose, and then like maybe a more intense one for like a journey or whatever. But we just found that it was just so much. There's just so much more love if you actually like connected them together. And so that's, yeah, we just kind of started doing that. And then we started adding the cacao, because then you're connecting your heart chakra with your crown, and And so that was kind of one of those huge things, because really, like, your love is coming out from well, all of them, but from mainly your heart chakra. And so when you access that together with the mushroom, then it actually it becomes a more
A full spectrum
totally
experience.
yeah.
And you grow the other important, we call them the sacred seven, but you grow the other incredible mushrooms as well. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I tell everybody, go watch Fantastic Fungi. It will change your life. It changed our life. We now take these every single day. But you incorporate them into your, not only into what you're doing, but you do them separately too, as well, correct?
Yeah, so we grow gourmet and medicinal mushrooms too. Lion's mane, reishi. We have some other just edibles like inaki and shiitake, and those have a lot of health benefits and are really great for you. Lion's mane is a phenomenal mushroom that creates really aggressive neurogenesis and neuroplasticity in the brain. It helps repair brain tissues that are damaged. It helps create new pathways in the brain. It is so beautiful and it makes you feel so good. And so we grow that alongside all of our other psychoactive mushrooms, and they have the same relationships. We want them to be together as well. Obviously, they're a gourmet and medicinal mushroom, so we're not eating them with the sacred mushrooms all the time. Sometimes it's just a gourmet mushroom kind of day, and you can make so many wonderful things out of lion's mane. We looked up some recipes for it when we started growing it the first couple of times, and we found this vegan nugget recipe where you can make basically like barbecued chicken nuggets, quote unquote, with lion's mane. So you like chop them up to where they're, chicken strip size, and then you take them and dip them in breading and egg, and then fry them in coconut oil or avocado oil or whatever kind of oil is your favorite. And then you can roll them in barbecue sauce or hot sauce and eat them, and they are absolutely delicious. Like, I could tell the difference, obviously, because it's a mushroom and it's not meat, but the texture and everything was so close. It was so delicious. Even our kids ate them, and at first they're like, oh my gosh, that's so gross. Ew, we're not eating lion's mane nuggets. But they tried a couple and they loved them, and they thought they were delicious. And they're so good for people's brains too. We were like so happy to just experience that. And now we do, we consistently grow them. Actually, we started a grow of them about a month ago, and it's going to finish here in a couple of weeks. We did like 8 4-pound blocks at the same time. We usually only do like 2 or 3, just enough for us to be able to have some to dry out and eat some fresh. But I decided to do a big run of it, and it's going to finish in a couple of weeks here, and they look absolutely amazing, and we're super excited.
Is that a hard one to grow?
No, it's actually not. All the processes for all of the mushrooms are exactly the same.
They only have a little bit of different substrate, really.
Yeah. The only thing that changes is the substrate. When you get to the end and you're moving your colonized grain to bulk substrate, instead of using the cocoa coir vermiculite like you would for the psychoactive mushrooms, you use master's mix, which is the hardwood fuel pellets or sawdust with the soy hull and oat bran.
Well, we also powderize it and like put it in our smoothies and in our kids' smoothies, and you can tell a difference in their activity and the level of being able to like retain things and be able to like easier, kind of more adaptable to change and things like that. And it's been wonderful. I've noticed a huge difference in our 14-year-old really going to school and stuff. We're like, I give it to him in a smoothie every morning.
I bet. I'm sure that it does. Okay, it looks like Jillian.
Lion's mane. Oh, sorry.
No. She was asking about cacao before or during mushroom ceremony. Are you saying? So you're doing the cacao right in there in the blend with them.
Yeah, definitely. And that is a very traditional thing. The Aztecs and Mesoamerican cultures believed in combining cacao with their sacred mushrooms, or the flowers of the blood is how they refer to them. And like Dana was saying, it connects your heart chakra to your crown and then allows for a full spectrum experience where you are opening your heart and your mind at the same time. And then you are able to have these very honest experiences and nurture yourself, you know?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes like you are able to access more of the emotional side and of like, because sometimes a microdose, people think about it as very like kind of a mental thing and not necessarily mind altering, but just like a mood thing. And so they like when you combine the cacao, like I think your emotions can come more into play and you're able to really have this like overview perspective of like what you're actually feeling, and you're able to kind of be with them easier. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I like I've been liking the cacao added to it, but
That's
Yeah, I'd
incredible.
like that
She
too.
says, so you grind it up the medicine and drink it with the cacao. How do you do yours? You put them in the capsules together.
so we put them in the capsules together, but then also, I mean, you can just like, you know, melt the cacao and mushroom together like in your hot water even, or
A lot of people do a hot cocoa
yeah.
kind of drink, and that's a very traditional way to have it. And you basically make a really delicious gourmet hot cocoa with the raw cacao, if you're able to, and then you mix your dried mushrooms or your mushroom tea with it, and then they come together, and then they bring you the love and open you up while you're receiving your sacred knowledge.
Yeah, I'll tell you, your medicine has tons of love, and
Yeah, there's
you
no
know,
doubt you guys know what you're doing.
extremely.
You're up there in Washington, and we are so grateful to Rob Jordan. Big shout out for
Big shout out to
introducing
Rob.
us.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very educated, very informative people. If you're interested in any of these beautiful medicines, talk to me and Michelle at the
Mhm.
Plant Medicine Path. All these connections you have. Great conversation today,
Yeah,
guys.
you
Great.
guys know what you're doing when
You
it
do.
comes to the and not just the psilocybin, but the other mushrooms that
Mhm.
you're talking about and how they work so beautifully together. And mushrooms are the only thing that and you guys know this, but are connected. The whole world, is
Yeah.
connected
Oh, yeah.
by fungi. It's the most beautiful medicine. Mark and I are huge proponents of not just the psilocybin, but all of the fungi.
Yeah, so
And
like
we're huge
my
proponents of microdosing in general. Just microdosing is such a beautiful thing.
yeah. My story is a little bit different than his. He really delved into the mushrooms very way before me, like at least like a year and a half or so before me. But he very much opened my mind and my heart to how connected we actually all are, and it brought me back to kind of to my roots of like I kind of lost this. I lost the love for life for a long time, and a long time, probably like a decade. And he finally encouraged me to do a huge mushroom journey after I had I think our youngest was about 4 or 5 months old, and I finally decided to like do one. And I literally woke up from The Walking Dead, and ever since then, I have been reconnecting myself with my passions that I forgot that I had when I was a kid, like the earth and trees and plants and stuff like that. So I've been doing a lot of studying with herbalism and just regular medicinal plants and things like that in general. And so we've been trying to incorporate as much as we possibly can to just really be connected and one with this earth and with everyone, because we're all connected
Yeah.
always. So
We are.
everyone's energy always comes into play, and it was a really, really beautiful thing. I did not realize how much this medicine, how much I actually needed it. and really just needed the process of actually dealing with some of the traumas that I've had. And I mean, I had a pretty good childhood, but like there's things that I didn't realize that were there until mushrooms. And it was pretty incredible to be like, oh yeah, this was actually happening. And then trying to actually move through it instead of staying stuck in that kind of victim mentality of like, oh, this happened to me. And a lot of the mushrooms have been able to show us like that these are all just situations and circumstances that have led us to where we actually are now, and being able to like forgive ourselves and forgive the people that we interacted with. And yeah, it's just been a really beautiful process to come back to myself.
I
That's
get it.
incredible.
It is.
We do. I mean, and we were just friends until we did a large macrodose together, and in that time period, saw each other, right, for the first time, really saw one another, and then we were married 4 months later. So I mean, it brings us back to, for us at least, it brought us back to truth, to connection, to, I mean, it's amazing what
Yeah.
it does.
I think it's just the most beneficial medicine for mental health. I mean, there are the big medicines, the ayahuascas, the boof, the M5-MeOs, but psilocybin just can be a daily impact on your life. So not even just the psilocybin, just
the other
mushrooms in general.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
And we really encourage doing this together because it has helped us really connect with each other and being able to actually support each other emotionally. And it's just been, I don't know. It's been really beautiful. We every few months we send the kids off and we have our own little like journey together, and we lay in bed and we snuggle and we are very, very connected, and we help each other work through some of these things that we're having issues with, like personal issues and stuff. And it just brings us closer together every single time. And so we really like to encourage like people doing this together, like couples doing this together, because it really strengthens the bond that you already have, and then also shows you how you can support one another fully, and not just in this day-to-day life stuff. And yeah.
It is a very honest and beautiful interaction, and we really enjoy sharing sacred medicine together. When we do our quest together, we call it connective therapy quests, because we stay home all day, we cuddle each other, we experience each other, and then we share our energy all day long without any interruptions, and it is absolutely beautiful. And like Dana was saying, we have benefited greatly from this. It has really helped us connect and bond with each other very strongly, and we are able to be honest with each other about everything we're thinking and feeling. And that's a hard thing to do, even when you're with someone that you absolutely love and you want to be with forever. It's still a really hard thing to do, because we have all these internal insecurities that keep us from being our true selves, that keep us from stepping into our higher selves. And when you break those barriers and you take all those walls down and you're in this honest space together, you can share all that and you can heal together, and you can, become connected and love each other truly in ways that I couldn't even imagine. I honestly would have to say that my life has been improved greatly by the relationship that I have had with plants and mushrooms. I would not be the person that I am right now if I was not able to step into those sacred spaces and experience the sacred knowledge and love that plants and mushrooms have brought to our lives. I am so grateful, and I am so happy to share this with other people. And I would also like to give a big shout out to Rob Jordan, because he is super amazing. Like you were saying before, we love him very much. And talk to him often, and he is doing great things in the cultivation community and the earth medicine community. I like to call him a community architect because he builds all these beautiful spaces for people to connect, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah,
he does. He's a good.
wonderful.
Yeah, he
And
needs a shout out. He's a good guy.
he's a good guy. Well, we are grateful. We've got some definitely family now for life. We have got the connection of the mushroom, and we appreciate what you guys are doing. We can find you on the plant medicine path. We can find you on Instagram. And just another quick question before we wrap this up. So if they want to do your course, do you offer them just at certain times? Can someone sign up at any time for a course? How does that work?
So
for the growing course.
Yeah. So right now, we are in the process of putting the finishing touches on our website that we're creating. And I am doing a 6-part video series for our website that will have all of the processes from beginning to end. And you will be able to access that on our website. But for now, we're just doing custom mycology education workshops. And so we do one-on-one workshops, and then we can do in-person workshops in our local area. So we're willing to go probably pretty much anywhere in Washington for the most part. But beyond that, we're not really prepared to do in-person customized mycology workshops out of state. But we do offer online custom mycology workshops, and I am very proficient with this. I've done this about 100 times so far, and we have lots of successful clients that we have helped learn how to grow their own mushrooms that are successful cultivators now.
And he's the main person that does the workshops and stuff like that. I usually hold down the fort. So
let's get more of those workshops on, Ray. Let's try to get more of those workshops on.
They're amazing.
We'll talk about that after the call, though.
Mm-hmm.
So
thank you guys for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Really,
thank you so much. This was an amazing podcast, and we just wanted to say that we're so grateful to interact with both of you, and I definitely see a really bright future for all of us.
Most definitely. Thank you guys so much.
Ciao.
And thank you to all out there. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you to the community for supporting everyone and connecting and sharing knowledge. Very beautiful.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, guys. Dana, thank you.